So today we will talk about who haute couture embroidery is for, really, and who it is not for. So you get a clear understanding whether this could be something you would like to learn. First of all, haute couture embroidery is not something for someone who wants a quick win, a quick technique, something fun, easy to do right away. It's not like that. Haute couture embroidery takes some time and practice because you get the muscle memory and the coordination between your eyes and your hands before it becomes fun, and then it becomes great fun, yes, of course. But it's not quick and easy. So if you are in for a quick win, skip it and do something else. It's also not something for someone who doesn't like to work with their hands and make beautiful details stitch by stitch. You need some kind of patience. And I know a lot of people say, oh, you are so patient. You can do it, but I'm not that patient. I can tell you, I'm not patient either. I'm patient with embroidery. Yes, I love embroidery, but it is very specific. So if you have the feel that this could be your specialty, go for it. Go for it. You doesn't have to be, in general, a patient person to be patient with embroidery. And last of all, this is not for someone who is not ready to invest in her or himself. Haute couture embroidery takes a lot of time and effort, energy, and you have to be willing to put that into it. It also takes some financial input, like buying the right materials and working with the best quality. It is aimed at creating beautiful, special things. So don't think it is something you can do with cheap, easy materials. There goes a lot of time and effort in ordering the right stuff and finding the best tools. But if you do so, it is worth many times the effort you put into it. So it is like a decision that you have to make internally. And I cannot do that for you. You can only do that yourself. So those are the points to think about when starting. And then for who is it really for? Who would really benefit from learning haute couture embroidery? First of all, the technique is a beautiful tool in your toolbox. It is like you become able to add some sparkle, some really intricate design to something that can be very simple in general, but that just needs that small little touch of glamour. It is beautiful to have that technique in your toolbox, so you can pull it out whenever something comes across your mind. Then it is really a great hobby for people who are very busy in their minds. Haute couture embroidery brings you back to your body and back to a very easygoing and very mindful position where you just focus on the millimeters and you forget everything in your life. It's a beautiful hobby to pursue. Then it is really a profession. So haute couture embroidery could be your whole focus. It is not only applicable to fashion, but also to art and many forms of art, really. You can teach it, you can write about it, you can design for it. There are so many options within the field of haute couture embroidery that are interesting. And it all starts with your first stitch. Then, haute couture embroidery, learning the basics, can be really helpful for fashion designers. Why? Usually the fashion designer itself doesn't do the embroidery because it is a specialized technique. You can do it, I do it. I do fashion design and embroidery and I love doing both. But in many cases there are teams that do the embroidery and teams that do the fashion and they work together. So for fashion designers it is really helpful to know what goes into embroidery. What you have to keep in mind during your design process, how you can deliver a beautiful embroidery design, how you work together with embroiderers, and to get a real feel of the time-consuming effort going into a small piece of embroidery, it is helpful for designers to know the basics and to experience it themselves. So it can be a really great learning experience for a designer for the future of his or her own label. And then, of course, the most obvious, it is a wonderful technique for anyone who is making special clothes, whether it is as an amateur or a professional. Embroidery brings your design to a higher level. If you look at the collections of Dior and Chanel, and you see how they use embroidery, it is always for the most exclusive parts. It's always for the festive garments, it is for the bridal wear, it is for everything that needs a special touch of glamour. So if you are a fashion designer aiming for high quality garments, for high fashion red carpet looks, for bridal wear, then haute couture embroidery is really a great way to enhance your designs. I hope this small introduction helps you to get a feel for whether or not this could be something for you. To close it up, I will show you one of my embroidery pieces that is framed. It's like this one. Do I have it right? No, it should be like this. Although usually I put it into fashion design, framing it can be really great to show some details in the embroidery. And what I like about this piece is that although it's all green and a touch of gold, it still has so much to see because the materials are different, the techniques are different, and so it adds a lot of structure and depth to the design. And that creation of depth to a design, that is something that haute couture embroidery really can do, also for you. If you would like to know more things before you start with haute couture embroidery, then sign up for the newsletter. You will find the link below, and you'll receive the 5 things you need to know before you start with haute couture embroidery cheat sheet. I'm happy to help you out with any questions, so please post them below, and love to see you back. Bye!